1 second.
Yes.
So, hello everyone. My name is Sayed. This is basically a kind of a demo that I'm going to walk you through on Salesforce, right? What is Salesforce and how this Salesforce is essential and what are the different roles that we have in Salesforce world and how it will be really essential for any admin or developer, whether it could be a fresher or whether it could be the expertise, right? So how beneficial it will be. So onto my screen that you can see is the application, which is Salesforce application altogether. And there we have different apps inside it, which are pre-built. So once that you click on this 9 digits called as app launcher, you will see all the applications which are out of the box. And also you can create your own applications within Salesforce. Salesforce is not just for one vertical. It is for anything that you can think of as a business, and you have the Salesforce. So Salesforce provide out-of-the-box functionalities, which are like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing. So those are basically the primary out-of-the-box thing to drive any business. So when it comes to the real world, right, where we have admin and developers, like you and me working closely on the requirements. So either most of the 60% of the cases are we go with the out-of-the-box feature and leverage, meet the requirements, whatever we have. Let's say, for example, right, you're in a service module. So in service module, basically anything which are related to a case or the incident management is where we have service related things. So anything which comes as in case, for example, one use case is a typical use case which we have overall in Salesforce world is you call the customer care, and then customer care basically takes your requests, and then you provide basic information like, hey, my product is not working, or I need to get information from so and so. So what happens? That's an incident management. Incident is nothing but a case gets created, and there will be multiple follow-ups. So let's just create a case. So a case origin could be from phone, email, or web, or it could be from social media, or it could be from word of mouth and all those things, right? So let's take an example, right, where you gave a call. So that's what I just chosen as a phone, and status will be like new, working, or you want to escalate it. Priority could be any of these things. So let's say high, medium, and low. And let's drop the thing. Let's just ignore it, and you just go to give description saying like product is not working. So that's how you basically communicate to an agent. And what happens is a case basically gets created, and this is the case record in Salesforce typically. And if you're happy with this particular thing, you either close the case. You have the path is basically to go and close the case, change the status of this particular case. Let's say from status to new to you. Let's say somebody is working as an agent is working on the case, so it will be working. Now once it is done, right? So that's what you're going to make it as close. So how do you close the case? You have a close button as well. Otherwise, what you can do, just leave this as is. We don't have enough buttons, so we can add those things. So that's where your admin skills comes up. So let's say right now this UI looks little cranky to me. I need to have more adjustments to this particular screen and all the UI. So that's where you and me as an admin or the developer comes in to rescue. So let's say we want to make some adjustments to this screen, right? So this is basically, by the way, called as lightning record page. The entire page is called lightning record page. And here is where we have the details, which is nothing but your case layout. And some things related to case will be in the related tab. And there is a button tab called feed. Feed is nothing but like anything that you want to communicate or as a collaboration to anybody. So just you're going to come here and provide your posts, or you could ask any questions here. So you can ask few questions saying like, hey, product is not working, so what I should be doing. So people within this organization, right, who have access, they can come and give a comment saying like, showcase the new quality. So that's how you collaborate within your organization, right? And people can like it, people can don't dislike it or comment it out and all those things. And so that's basically how we have collaboration tools. So that is internal collaboration tool called Chatter. Now comes up a requirement saying like, hey, this looks very plain to me. I need to have more fields, or I want to more customize a little bit more, right? So that's where the admin comes up, and what they do is like they make few changes to this UI. So I just click on gear icon, click on edit page. It will land you to something called as Lightning App Builder. So Lightning App Builder is a placeholder where you can make your lot of changes to this particular case Lightning record page. Let's say I want to have my details instead of here. I want to keep it here somewhere. So what I do is like I'll just go here, click on new tab. I name that as details, and I'll bring this basically to the top. And you could see that there's a preview, right? Which whatever I'm just doing here, it's reflecting there. So I want to keep that the default tab as details, not as feed. Okay. Then what I will do is like I need to enter few items. So what I need to enter it. So either you can drag this and put it here. That's one way, or you can just search here record, and you could see record details. So this is a kind of this is basically called as components. On your left hand side, all the things that you see, these are the different components that we have inside our Salesforce world. Either it could be your out of the box, or again, you have a feature of creating your own. I created most of the custom components that I can drag and drop it. So right, let's focus on this part. So my detail section comes up here, and this area becomes little empty. So what I'll do is like I'll just put something here called as rich text area, and that will go in my right hand side. So in this, I'm going to say something like that, like, hey, this is a placeholder for your company information. Now, right? So now I can also change this tab of this detail to something else. So let's say from details, I'll choose as a custom and say like highlight or something. That's it. What you do is like click on save. Once you save, it'll ask you to activate your lightning record page. So you can activate this page and make it also available with like total org level. So when you say org level, it is basically for all the organization. Everybody will view it. If you make it app level, it's specific to the apps. So I show you a few applications, right, which are out of the box, or it could be something called as custom application that you can do it. And last is basically app, record types, and profile. Record type and profile go hand in hand. Record type in the sense like you have sales, service, and in also service have business service or customer service, all those things, right? So the only to customer service is what I need to show this page, right? Or only to business service I need to show this page. And also people having different profile, like sales representative, service representative, and all those things. You can do that. So right now, let's make it as app default. So I'll just click on app default. I need to select my applications here. It'll list all the applications that you have, right? So you can just search and then add it. Let's give it to sales. Click next, click next, and make this default. Okay. Now, when you save it and go back to your application called as sales, now that's what you could see, the case record. Okay, so I'll just click on here and search your application. Also, quick find. Let's go to cases. So here, these are called as tabs. So let me find the case tabs. So if I open any of things right now, you could see. Sorry about the spelling mistakes, but here is what we have. Make sure like it's details will be added here, feed related, and all those things still goes on, right? So that's a little bit on the custom configuration that we do. I want to show you something else as well. Let's say yeah, let's take a little bit on the sales again. We have something called as opportunity. So when you go to opportunity, right? Opportunity is nothing but revenue generating items. So here, let's say this is your path that you have, right? Right now, your product will be the prospecting. It goes on to until the close. So the main intention of the sales representative to make this deal won, right? So when you say close won, it's a deal won. When you say close lost, you mean to say like, hey, the deal is not done. That's it. So we need to have one more path or one more layer over here, saying like, hey, can you add something which is respect to one more layer or something, which it will be prospecting, qualification, need analysis, value propositions, and then say like need decisions or something, right? So in that case, what we do typically do is like we go to this object. Again, it's a job of admin to do the configuration work. So just going here, go to fields and relationship, search the field. So here in this case, the field name is stage name. By the way, label could be anything. Name remains unique. So we'll click on stage. We'll add here one more pick list value by saying it's need information. That's it. And probability. So let's say if the stage is in this, so how much probability that you're going to get? So I'm going to say like 30% of the entire revenue we make it. That's it. Save it. Now what happens? Comes back, refresh. Yeah, you could see here. We have added one more stage called as need information. So that's how you basically configure it. And what are the other job of admin, right? So admin basically do a lot of the out of the box, help you understand better. So you can just go, basically system admin will tell you the end to end, right? What is your application is all about. So if you see, if I go to company information, this is where you could see where your application belongs to. I'm zooming a little bit so that you can have a fair idea. And this will tell you like which edition that you're pointing that you're into, and what is the instance. So instance is nothing but AP4, Asia Pacific 4 you're pointing to, and admin will have the fair idea of how many licenses being used. So Salesforce is driven with licenses, so admin will have fair idea like how many we have and how many we are into. So licenses are left, and also how many permission set license we have, features and everything. So that's what he'll have a hold of, all those things. And for every record, there is a unique ID. So this is the unique ID for your organization. when you reach out to Salesforce to increase or change few things, right? Features, they'll ask you to provide the organization ID. That is where the admin provides the organization ID to Salesforce. And also the main primary job of admin is to basically give access, revoke access. So this is the placeholder where you come and see all the access and the users having permissions. So in this case, these are the different users that we have, and who is active are the ones who are inside your organization. The ones which are inactive, right? For in this case, this user is inactive. That means like if you try to log in, right, with this username and password, it will kick them off. And also you could see how many times, what is your login history for given user. Let me just go to my user, and also I can see like when did I log in. Where is my login history? Yes, when did I log in? What source IP I was using it to log in? Whether I was logging from my application or somewhere from the remote side access, right? But now you could see like I've been logging from the Trail Blazer, which is trailhead.com. And also I tried with the browser multiple times, and you can have up to 6 months of your login history. Similarly, you can revoke access, you can change password for any users that you have in your organization as a system admin. And also you can freeze the users. So when you say freeze, you're going to freeze this user for certain period of time. These are the system users, so you cannot freeze it. But typically, any user that you create, still have the ability to freeze them up. Okay, freezing in the sense like you want to making them hold for a certain period until you unfreeze them, so that they should get access and all. Lastly, but in this demo, right, I just want to cover on the audit part. Audit in the sense like people will be doing a lot of stuff like admin or multiple users, right, who will be doing all the XYZ things, and then they say like, hey, I didn't do it any change or didn't modify. So this is a placeholder where you can come and as an admin, you can just verify who changed what. So you could see like I have been changing my custom class or the custom code, which is Apex account trigger code. I've been modifying from almost quite few times, right, on 3:30. So the same thing, like I changed my password today. I changed the lightning record page, which I just showed you in the demo. We added few items to the lightning page as well, and we also updated our lightning path, which is the sales path of opportunity. So that's how you still monitor. Again, you get 6 months of audit trial to validate. Lastly, you have something called as flow builder, right? So in the flow builder, you can customize things. You can give life to anything, like you want to create cases automatically, you want to send a notification to customers automatically, or you want to have child record, you want to update them, you want to provide more updates, or you want to do the referential things and do the custom logic. You can still take a help of flows and then do it. Okay, so that's you will get to learn more in detail when you enroll for this course from the admin standpoint as well as the dev. Now let's move our needle towards something called as developer module. So in developer, right, so you have why the necessity of development, right? For example, in this case, or let's go back to case creation, right? I'll show you one example which I recently did. So let's go to home. The moment you launch your application, right, it basically gives you the home page, and home again you can customize it still. So in this case, right, I wanted to customize a little bit more, which gives me how many cases which are in new, okay, and how many important leads that I should be working on, and what are the important opportunities that I should take care of. So this entire component, right, this entirely component which is built by developer itself. So it's not like admin created. So we can modify this. So there are plenty use case that we have. I'm just taking one small use case to help you understand better. so that like not just like the standard components, you can create your own components of doing things. So in this case, like how we create, we have something called as developer console. Just click on gear icon, click on developer console. It'll open up your developer console, something like this. Let me copy and open it up in the tab so that we have fair idea. Now, this is how your, let me close all. So this is how your developer console looks like. And you want to create new, we just have to click on file, new, and the rest of the things that you can create it within your um, from your developer console. Like you can create Apex classes, triggers, components, Visual Force, and also Lightning components. So in my case, I already created one. So let me open up the the component that I have. Now you will be having plenty many components like this. Now you want to understand better, like, hey, which component I was referring to. So you can probably come back here again, do the same repetition of editing page. It will take you to Lightning app builder. Now what you just have to do is like just click on the component, whichever that you want to make yourself understanding, like, hey, what is this? The moment you click on it, you will see this next to the page, it's arrow, and they tell you what is the component name. So component name is Lightning generic, and similarly, if you click here assistant, it will tell you it's assistant. Okay, and say today's lead, today's tasks, and this is dashboard. That's how you basically identify what exactly it is. So this is basically a Lightning generic. So let's go back to developer console and search Lightning generic. And now here you have your component. This is what I created. So when you create a component, right, you have the entire markup that you will be creating. And then you have your custom controller, which is JavaScript part, which takes the action from the component, which is your markup here. Okay, so in this case, let's just go a little in detail, and you could see, right, we have the accordion. This is nothing but the. Let me go back to the home page. So when you say accordion, right, this is how it is. Like you click here and others will go off. So that is nothing but accordion, right? So let's come back to developer console. So here I have something called one accordion section called as open important leads. Similarly, I have open cases, and also I have open important opportunities. So these are the three different accordions that I have in my thing. I named that as ABC sections, and then in each section we have a table that represent what are the data that we wanted to display, and this is again the another data table that will display the only respective cases, and same thing similarly for the opportunities. It represent or tells what are the different opportunities that we have in my this data table. All right, so again you can customize it more and more. The moment you launch, right, you have init, which will be calling your method to pull all the open leads, open cases, and all the opportunities. And that's this is the helper method, which helps you do the things. So here we have the columns like name, company, email, phone, product, and interest. For the leads, if I go back here and check leads, that's what we have, right? All the columns. So that's where we will be defining in our component part. And we have a backend Apex class method to invoke it and get all the data, stringify, just copy the data or pull it into our table. It's very simple. It looks little tough, but it is as simple as that. So when you start learning things. Okay, so let's understand about the class a little bit. So class you will define in the Apex, in the controller part, in the component part, UI, and there is an attribute called controller, and this is the controller class. So when you open up the controller class, you have, this is, by the way, this is how you write the class, public class and class name, and then you have your method names. So in this case, one method, I have three different separate methods. right? So I'm telling like get me open leads which are open not contacted in this case. Get all the cases which are status as new. Get me the specific case, that's fine. Get me all the opportunities. So that's how you capture them and then put it into your something called as list your um, data types. So in this case, I'm just using list collections. So just dumping all my opportunity records into this collection. So that's it. So that's how you build your own component. Once you're ready, right, you just come here again, go back to your edit page, search your component name. So right now, earlier we were searching as a standard. Now we will be searching in the custom. So we have so many components here. So you want to search only your component, right? You can just type it and it will show you here. And then again, you can utilize it anywhere you want. So let's say I want to put it here. Again, that still works. Save this, make it activated for organization level or the app level. You have your component ready. That's it. And then you can view the same component. You can reuse it multiple times. That is the beauty of having single component, using it anywhere throughout your application. It's just like a simple example or the demo that I wanted to give. But generic use case or the development part is like to do all the complex level logic like integrations, reaching like sending the data from Salesforce instance to some XYZ things, and then pull all the data. That's a one example. And also one other example use case is like you send the request to third party and then get it those updated in the system, which could be the external system or, for example, Delbumi or your legacy systems and all these things. And also the another part of development is to build the complex scenarios. Like let's say the things which you cannot achieve from the flows or the process builder. That's where you have you write the code. So in this case, let's say if you open up, right, you will have triggers, Apex classes, and everything. So that's how you deal with those things. In this case, let's say if I go to classes, I have so many classes available written, which is doing some XYZ jobs. And similarly with the trigger doing some XYZ things to me. Let's take an example of account trigger. This is how you write a trigger, and these are the different events that we have. So general use practice. We also have something called as best practices to follow. You can write multiple triggers on an object, but it is not a good practice. You have to have a single trigger doing all the job for you, and take the help of your helper methods to do certain actions. I know it will be too much or it will be very hectic, but you will be learning more in details like this, and you will be pro once you opt your course, and you will understand better like how you can write the code if you're not from technical background, or you're from technical background but you don't know how to write code in detail. I will be walking you through in detail to help you understand better. All right, so that's how you take the help of trigger context variables and also your helper methods to do some actions to you. So in this case, we are checking whether the active of the account is yes or no. If it is changed, we are throwing right. You cannot make it inactive. So let me give you an example. I'm just going to account record here. By the way, you can create your own filters as well. So let's say if I pull all my accounts, and I will add one more field to display, which is nothing but active. Now it will display active here. So this is active. This account is active. Now if I change it to deactivate or change it something, right, it will throw an error saying like, hey, you cannot change it. So this is happening from my Apex trigger. I'll save it. Now you see, you cannot make it as inactive. So this error message is directly coming from my developer console. Sorry, my Apex trigger. So the trigger that we wrote and the handler we have, right? So this is where it basically coming in. To give you like it is the same. So I'm just adding 3 exclamations, saving it. Go back here, click on save. Again, you see these are the different things we just added just now, exclamation to make sure like this is the same coming from Apex trigger. Yes, it is. So you will be learning more in detail. That's what you will have. Any questions or anything, right? You can reach out to me anytime. I'll be happy to help. And second thing is like these are the hands-on classes that you will be having, and it is not something like, hey, do this and go off, or do it later. You will be doing in the classroom to help yourself understand better, and you can ask any questions. So that's it from the demo standpoint. Thank you for joining.